Hello, welcome. My name is Tina, and we're going to have our Friday 45-minute flow today. I wanted to welcome everybody. If you can hear me, maybe put a heart or something in the chat. Hit the heart or something in the chat so you know that you are there and you can hear me. And if you can't hear me, well, I guess you wouldn't be able to respond if you couldn't hear me. So we'll get started here in a moment, as soon as I know somebody's here. This flow is brought to us today by Elizabeth. So if this is your first time here, know that my donations help me support the classes that I have here on this app. And also included in that is the donations that I make monthly to a different cause. This month it is a scholarship fund, and I'm going to just put in here, can you hear me? And so the scholarship fund is for local women. Thank you so much. Celeste, thank you. Okay, great. We'll go ahead and get started now that I know that people are listening. Again, this month, portion of my donations are going to go to a scholarship fund. And for the donations that I get, each day I get a donation, I will add another class. So I hope that you enjoy this, and we'll go ahead and get started. One of the things I like about thinking about donating to this scholarship fund is every little bit counts. I was actually the first person in my family to go to college years ago, and that was due to the help of some small scholarships funds. So I am glad to do that and know that sometimes it's just a little something that could make a big difference for somebody else. And so let's go ahead and for our little something, go ahead and start seated today. So have maybe one ankle in front of the other. Maybe your hips are a little bit higher than your knees, or you're reaching down to that. Find a comfortable spot for you, always remembering that this is your practice. Move at your own pace, listen to your body, and let's go ahead and start arriving on our mat here. Thank you so much, Cindy. Appreciate that. Thank you, Ginger. All right. Okay, thank you, Ginger. I'll try to stay more still. And hopefully my internet connection is good too. Sometimes that is something that makes it the sound go in and out. So arrive on your mat here. Feel your attachment to the earth. Maybe close your eyes or take your gaze down toward your cheeks. And start to inhale and exhale, noticing your breath here. Noticing as it's coming in and out, just how that feels, bringing that awareness to your breath. And from here, take your awareness to the crown of your head and start to scan down through your body, taking note of anything that you're feeling today. Not really trying to change anything as of yet, just allowing yourself to bring your awareness there, to know where you are right at this moment. And allow yourself to settle in. Maybe you lick your lips gently and press your lips together to start to bring your inhales and exhales in and out of your nose. And as you inhale, allow that breath to go all the way down to your belly, letting your belly expand, your ribs start to open, your chest rise. And then as you exhale, feel your belly coming in, your ribs stitching together a bit, your chest lowering, and continue that breath pattern. If you came with your own intention for class today, go ahead and think of that now. Otherwise, I can offer the intention of noticing the differences with one little change. From here, you can keep your eyes closed or flutter them open. On your next inhale, raise your hands up toward the sky above your head, bringing your palms together. And then as you exhale, lower your palms, heart center. And then inhale, reaching out and up, bringing your palms together. Exhale, release your hands down toward your heart. And one more time. Inhale, reaching your fingertips up above you, bringing your palms together. And exhale, lower your hands, heart center. On your next inhale, sweeping your arms back up. And this time on an exhale, release your right hand toward your right side, leaning over as your right palm presses down. Maybe your left shoulder rolls back a bit as you lengthen over toward your right. And then on your next inhale, reach your arms up. Both arms reach up. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Exhale, release your left hand down to the earth, rainbowing over the right hand above your head. And inhale up. Exhale to the right again. Maybe bring your hand out a little bit further if you feel good about that. Maybe bending that right elbow to lower down toward the earth a little bit more. And inhale up. Exhale over to the left, reaching, maybe seeing how that little bit of a bend in your left elbow changes that stretch. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale one more time to the right. Noticing any changes, trying to keep both sit bones on the ground. Notice what happens when you bring your attention to trying to bring your sit bones on the ground. And then inhale, reach both fingertips up. Exhale over to the other side. Reaching, that right arm is reaching toward your left side. Again, bringing your awareness to your right sit bone, making sure it's staying attached to the ground. And inhale, reaching up, both arms. Now take your exhale over to the right. Right arm comes behind, left arm goes across. On an inhale here, lengthen your spine up, staying in your twist. And as you exhale, maybe turning from your hips, belly, chest, maybe keeping your head above your heart, or maybe taking your gaze over toward your right shoulder. On your next inhale, sweep your fingertips up, chest comes forward. And as you exhale, rotate over toward your left, releasing your left hand behind, right arm across. Staying here as you inhale, filling up your belly, ribs, chest, crown of your head reaching toward the sky. And as you exhale, maybe turning a little bit more toward that left shoulder. Excuse me. On your next inhale, sweep your fingertips up, chest comes forward, palms come together above you, and exhale, lower your hands, heart center. Take your thumbs to your heart space and notice your heart beating here. Notice the subtle shift when you bring your awareness to your heartbeat. And from here, make your way onto your hands and your knees. Tabletop position. Hands are directly underneath your shoulders, fingertips spread wide, knees right underneath your hips. Your legs are parallel. Tops of your feet may be reaching down toward the ground. Maybe give them a little pat to wake them up a little bit. And on your next inhale, lower your belly toward the earth, creating that dip in your back. As you roll your shoulders back, your chest reaches forward, coming into cow. Your seat goes up, gaze goes up slightly. And exhale, rounding your spine, pressing into the earth, creating that arch of your back. Your head is between your upper arms, your gaze is going back. And continue that breath and movement at your own pace. As you inhale into your cow, your belly goes down, seat, gaze goes up. Shoulders are still away from your ears, chest is open to the front. And then as you exhale, rounding your spine. Again, going at whatever pace feels good for you. Completing a few more rounds here. Feeling free to add any organic movement that might feel better for your body. Noticing when you make little changes, how it may change how you feel about this warm-up pose. Continuing to breathe. One or two more rounds here, depending on how fast you're going. And when you complete your next round, come back to your tabletop, neutral spine. Reach your your right leg back. Curl your toes under. Shift your shoulders forward and back. So you're lengthening out the calf and your right leg. And then as you come to stillness, square your hips toward the mat. Reach your left fingertips to the front of your mat. And then see how it feels on an inhale to really lengthen out your spine, reaching back and forward. Maybe you reach that back leg up, your front arm up. Your left arm might be next to your left ear. Your gaze is down toward your mat, trying to square your hips toward the mat. Continuing to breathe and not collapsing into that right hand. On your inhale, feel your belly fill up with air as it's creating more space, and you can lengthen yourself up. Your back toes are pointing down toward the ground. Beautiful. And then as you're ready, bring your hand down, your left hand down, reach your right leg up, rainbow it over and back behind your left shoulder, and curl your toes under and look down as you lower those toes to the ground. Nice little side bend here. So your left shoulder is going toward your left hip. You're looking back toward your right leg. That's on your left side. And then inhale, reach that leg up. Bring it all the way out to the outside of your right hip. And then start to bring your hands in toward your body and lift yourself up. I'll turn towards you so you can see this. And then on your exhale, reach toward your right leg, opening up. Again, rolling that left shoulder back, and then sweeping back up. Bring your your left hand down, right arm next to right ear. And then make a few big circles here to open up your shoulder. 2 and 3. And sweep yourself back up, shoulders over your hips, hands heart center, and come back to your hands and knees, your tabletop position. From here, reach your left toes to the back of the mat. Shift your shoulders forward and back, waking up that ankle, waking up that leg. Come to stillness, bring your right fingertips to the front of the mat. And then as you inhale, maybe reaching forward and back, lengthening out your spine, trying to keep your hips level. Your left toes are pointed down, your right thumb is pointed up, trying not to collapse into that left hand. Inhaling, maybe reaching a little bit further. You can always drop the leg or the fingertips to keep your balance, to keep you squared. Continuing to breathe here. Beautiful. Release your right hand down, lift your left leg up and over to the opposite side, curling your toes under, looking back over your right shoulder at your left foot. And breathe. I'll switch around so you can see. And then reach that left leg up and move it over to your left side and press yourself up. Bring your arms up, and then as you exhale, release your left hand down your left leg. And then on your next inhale, shoulders over your hips, both arms come up. And then release down on an exhale. Right arm comes down, left arm next to left ear. And a few big circles here. Circling with your shoulder, bringing your arm forward, down, back. 3 nice big circles here. And then as you're ready, shoulders over your hips, fingertips come up. And then as you exhale, bring your hands back down, bring your knees back underneath your hips and find your tabletop again. From here, find your first downward facing dog. Curl your toes under, press into your hands, raise your seat and press your chest toward your thighs. You can have your knees bent here so you can really press your chest toward the thighs, feeling that lengthening of your spine, feeling your seat reaching up, making that upside down V. Walk your dog here by lowering one heel and raising the opposite heel, bending that knee. And then switch, bending the opposite knee, lowering the other heel. Going back and forth at whatever pace feels good for you to warm up your legs. And then on your next inhale, come to stillness. Exhale, release your heels down toward the earth, letting gravity bring them wherever they're going to land today. And then take notice to what a little micro change would be if you really think about bringing those heels just a little bit further. How does that feel for your body? On your next inhale, take your gaze up to the front of your mat. And as you exhale, tiptoe your feet toward your hands, your seat's going up. You're coming to a forward fold at the front of your mat. Knees are nice and bent here. If the ground is too far away, have your blocks or bring your forearms to your thighs. I like the belly and the thighs touching if possible so you can really lengthen out your spine, releasing your head. And on your next inhale, raise your shoulders even with your hips. Press your hands into your shins or thighs. Your gaze is down. Crown of your head is reaching to the front of your mat. Exhale, bend your knees, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to standing. Reach your fingertips up high. And exhale, hands, heart, center. Take a breath here. Again, bringing notice to that heartbeat. And then find your mountain pose. So you're at the front of your mat. Your feet are parallel to the sides of your mat. Your toes and your knees are both pointing in the same direction forward. Hips right underneath your shoulders. Head right above your heart. Chin parallel to the ground. Roll your shoulders back and open your palms to the front of the mat. And we'll begin our sun salutations. On your first inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, tipping from your hips, forward fold, bending your knees. Inhale, lift your shoulders up, even with your hips, halfway lift, pressing your hands into your shins or thighs for support. Exhale, release your hands down toward the earth, feet go back, find your plank. Inhale, shift your wrists or shift your shoulders over your wrists. And then as you exhale, you can lower your knees or keep them raised, but bend your elbows back towards your feet so that your upper arms rub against your ribs. And when you reach the ground, bring your elbows underneath your shoulders. And bring your chest forward, finding your Sphinx pose. And then from here, bring your hands back underneath your shoulders, curl your toes, raise your seat, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the front of your mat, and exhale as you step or hop your feet toward your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach all the way up to standing, fingertips come up high. Exhale, hands, heart, center. And again, inhale, reaching your arms up high. Exhale, come into your forward fold, folding from your hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plants your hands, bring your feet to the back of your mat, find your plank. Inhale, shift your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, lowering down, chaturanga. Inhale, release your hips down, roll your shoulders back, press into the earth. Baby cobra with your elbows bent, or cobra with your elbows straightened. Exhale, curl your toes, maybe come to your knees, raise your seat, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the front of your mat, and exhale as you step or hop your feet toward your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to standing, reach your arms up high, shoulders come over your hips, fingertips reach up to the sky, palms come together, and exhale, hands, heart, center. And again, inhale, sweeping your fingertips up. Exhale, tipping forward, chest coming forward and down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, step or hop your feet to the back of the mat, plank. Inhale, shifting your shoulders over your wrists. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, scoop your chest forward, shoulders back, find your back bend. Exhale, curl your toes, raise your seat, downward facing dog. Take 3 nice breaths here in your down dog. Noticing the change that happens in your body when you go from movement to stillness. When you allow yourself time to breathe when you are in motion. When your next inhale comes, look to the front of your mat, and as you exhale, step or hop your feet toward your hands, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to standing, reaching your fingertips up high, bringing your palms together above your head. And exhale, hands, heart, center. Take a breath here. Again, finding your mountain pose at the front of your mat. Bringing your awareness to your feet. Notice how the little change of focusing on the 4 corners of your feet, maybe lifting your toes. How does that change your balance? How does that change your experience of this pose? Releasing your toes down if they're up, and on your next inhale, reach your hands up high above your head, and then on your exhale, bend your knees, bring your hips back behind you. Find your chair pose. So your seat is going back, you're bending your knees. You can look down and still see your toes. Your chest is still staying open. Your shoulders are away from your ears. As you inhale, maybe you lift your chest a little bit more as you bend your knees, a little bit more. And then as you exhale, come into a forward fold here, bringing your hands forward and down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, bring your feet to the back of the mat in your plank. If you want to flow here, feel free to do so, or you can come straight to downward facing dog and we'll meet you there. If you're flowing, shift forward, lower down, chaturanga, shoulders back, chest forward, up dog, cobra, sphinx, whichever you choose for your back bend. And then curl your toes, raise your seat, and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Take a breath. On your next inhale, raise your right leg up high. And as you exhale, bend your knee and open your hip, pointing your right knee up toward the sky, maybe taking your gaze underneath your right armpit. Take a breath here, maybe make a circle with your hip and another circle in the other direction. And then straighten that leg, square your hips back toward the mat, three-legged dog. And as you exhale, bring your knee forward underneath your body, round your spine to give it some room. And then try to bring that foot to the front of the mat. Find a runner's lunge. Getting that foot up there however you need to. Your knee should be above your ankle, just not past your toe. You don't want to be all the way up here. So on your next inhale, raise your shoulders over your hips. Reach your fingertips up high. Back leg is straight and strong, crescent. As you exhale, rotate your back heel down, open your wings, finding your warrior two, looking over your front fingertips. Inhale, shift your shoulders forward, flip that front palm, and then tip back, reaching up. Your left arm maybe comes in the small of your back or down your back leg. Right arm reaching up and over. Find your reverse warrior. Inhale, sweep all the way forward. Release your right hand onto your right thigh. Left arm next to your left ear. Find your side angle. Inhale again, shoulders over your hips, arms open wide. Roll your shoulders away from your ears. And breathe. And then on your next inhale, rotate that back heel up. Bring your fingertips to the front as you bring your chest to the front, finding your crescent again. And then from here, on an exhale, release your hands down. Bring that front foot to the back and find your plank. You can flow here, or you could skip it and meet us in downward dog. If you're flowing, shift forward, lower down, chaturanga. Chest forward, shoulders back, back bend. Exhale, curl your toes, raise your seat, downward facing dog. Take a breath. On your next inhale, raise your left leg up high. As you exhale, bend your knee, point the knee up toward the sky to open the hip, maybe looking underneath your left armpit. A circle with your knee in one direction and the other. And on your next inhale, straighten your legs, square your hips toward the mat to make a three-legged dog. And then as you exhale, shift your shoulders over your wrists, bending your knee underneath your body, rounding your back, and then stepping that left foot to the front of the mat, finding your runner's lunge. Back leg is straight and strong, knee is above your front ankle, left knee above your left ankle. Reach your fingertips up. Find your crescent. On your next exhale, rotate your back heel down, opening up, warrior two, looking over your front fingertips. Inhale, shift forward, flip that front palm, tip back, reverse warrior. Left arm above your head, right arm down your leg or at the small of your back. Inhale, reaching all the way up and forward, left arm onto left thigh, right arm next to right ear. Side angle. On your next inhale, bring your shoulders up over your hips, open your arms out wide, looking over your front fingertips, roll your shoulders back. See what it feels like to release just a bit of effort in this pose. And when your next inhale comes, rotate that back heel up, turn your chest to the front of the mat, and bring your palms up, crescent. Exhale, release your hands down toward the mat, bring that back foot up to meet the front, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way to standing, reach your fingertips up high, bring your palms together. And exhale, lower your hands, heart center, allowing your thumbs to rest at your heart space. Take a moment to breathe here. Noticing any changes, small or big, that have happened since you began this practice. From here, release your hands down. Finding your balance here on your right foot, pressing your right foot into the ground, bring your left knee forward, and then open up that knee to the side. Make a little kickstand with your foot. So your heel is up against your right leg on the bottom there. Roll your shoulders back, maybe bring your hands heart center. This is tree. You can stay here or take some time to notice little subtle changes. Maybe if you raise that foot up a bit, pressing the foot into your leg and your right leg into your left foot. How does that feel? Maybe reaching your gaze up or your arms up or out. Finding what works for you. Noticing what happens when you make just a small shift in some way. Maybe if you open your arms up, how does that change it? If you bring them down, continuing to breathe. And then as you're ready, lower your left foot down, bring your left knee forward, and come back to standing. Wiggle out that standing leg. Come around to the other side, balancing on the four corners of your left foot. Bend your right knee forward and then open it up to the side as you create a little kickstand there with your foot. Finding your balance here. Maybe looking at something that's not moving. And if you'd like to notice the changes with your tree, maybe bring that right foot up the left leg, pressing your foot into your leg and your leg into your foot, keeping that hip open, changing one little thing and seeing how observing how it changes the whole pose. Maybe that's reaching your arms out or up or closing your eyes. Continuing to breathe. Notice how breathing, or if you're holding your breath, and how that might change your pose. And then as you're ready, bring that right knee forward, lower your foot, shake it out. Beautiful. Be making our way down to our mats. Coming into a yogi squat, bringing your feet to the outsides of your mat. If you're still pointing in that direction, you'll be bending your knees the same direction as your toes, letting your seat reach down toward the ground, finding your squat. Maybe it's up here and you can have your hands onto, or your upper arms onto your thighs, or maybe your seat likes to go down a little bit further. Maybe you would like some support with a block. If your heels are raised, you can roll up a blanket and place your heels on the blanket so you have more of a steady surface. Whenever you find your squat, allow yourself to continue to breathe into the tight spaces, starting to relax and release. And then from here, bringing your hands forward, maybe lifting your seat up and pointing your toes to the front, and then letting your seat come back down to the earth. However you need to get there, getting to a seated position. From here, reach your hands back and then bring your feet together in a bound angle. See where it feels comfortable rather than being sitting up and trying to force your feet to be at a certain distance toward your body or away. Just see where it likes to be. And then press your hands up so your shoulders are over your hips. Bringing your hands down to your knees or your shins. Letting your breath release from your mouth as you take an inhale. Breathe through your nose and then exhale out of your mouth as you fold forward from your hips, finding your edge here. Trying to keep your sit bones on the earth, continuing to breathe. How would it feel to maybe guide your knees a little bit closer toward the earth by using your elbows? As you're ready, press your hands into the ground and then bring them closer to your body to lift yourself up. Reach your right leg out to the side, just like a half straddle here, and bring your left foot on the inside of your right thigh. Turn your chest towards your right leg, and then as you exhale, fold toward that leg. You can have that leg, the right leg, bent. You can have it supported. Keeping both sit bones on the ground. Allowing your breath to release from your mouth. And then as you're ready, pressing yourself up. Switching your legs. Turning your chest towards your left leg this time. Maybe bending your knee if it feels uncomfortable behind your left knee. And then exhale as you bring your chest forward, find your edge. And once you find it, maybe bringing your chin closer to your chest. And release. As you're ready, start to press yourself back up. Turn your chest to the front. Bend both knees, pointing up toward the sky, maybe in a kind of a wide-legged here. Bring your hands back, and then bring your knees from side to side, releasing your hips. And then make your way onto your back. And coming into a bridge pose here. Your knees are bent, pointing up toward the sky. Your feet are down on the ground. Rolling your shoulders back. Your hands are to your sides. Your palms are down. And then as you exhale, reach your hips up toward the sky. Keep your gaze up toward the sky. Try not to move your neck too much here. So you can keep that nice, long, straight, safe spine. On inhale, maybe pressing more into the earth. And on exhale, maybe reaching your hips up just a little bit higher. And how does that make your body feel? And then as you exhale, release your hips down to the earth. Take a moment here and then sway your knees from side to side, windshield wipers. From here, reach your arms out into a T and bend your knees in toward your chest. And then as you exhale, release your knees over to your right side. Maybe picking up your head and gazing toward your left fingertips, if that feels good for your body. And relax into your twist, allowing your knees to go wherever gravity wants to bring them. And then on your next inhale, bring your knees above your chest. And on an exhale, release your knees over to the other side. And then from here, bringing your knees back above your chest again, hugging your knees, giving yourself a nice big hug here. And then maybe curling yourself into a ball by inhaling as you raise your forehead toward your knees and really tighten everything up, any last bit of energy you have. And then on an exhale, release and lie back into your Shavasana. Maybe lying straight on your back with your toes pointed out, your palms up with your arms right next to your body. And allow yourself to feel the contact of the earth supporting you. And starting from your toes all the way up to the top of your head, relax and release and let go. Take just 1 minute here in your relaxation pose to let thoughts flow in and out without judgment. Feel free to stay in this Shavasana for as long as it feels good for you and that you have time to allow the work that you did in this practice today to seep into your mind and your body. And I'll conclude our practice with my hands, heart center, bowing toward my fingertips in gratitude for all of you. Thank you so much for allowing me to guide you through your practice today. I hope you have a peaceful and powerful weekend. Namaste. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you, Lisa. I really appreciate that. Cindy, Celeste, everyone here, I really appreciate everything. I'm not sure if Elizabeth is here. She was a donator, so I added a class on her behalf. as I do with donations and reviews that come in on my Insight Timer page. So thank you so much for allowing me to continue with this practice. And if you ever have any suggestions or anything you want to work on, feel free to send it in the chat, or I believe there's a way to message me on there as well, on my page. So thank you, Ginger. Namaste. Thank you so much, Ginger and Chris. Thank you, thank you. And all the people who've given hearts. That means a lot to me as well. Thank you, thank you. Oh, woohoo. Oh, Cindy, that's great. Love that. My next class on the schedule is a restorative, it's a yin restorative, and that's Tuesday morning. That's the next one I have scheduled. So keep an eye to see any other classes that I have scheduled. And all right, I want to respect everybody's time and let you get back to your Friday. It's Friday where you are. Thank you so much, everyone. Bye. There it is.